Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Chelsea Review. This is the series where I go over the weekly exploits of Chelsea Football Club. So, what's been kicking off at Cobham this week? So, before we get into things, I would like to apologise for the lack of videos over the last few weeks. I wasn't able to access my YouTube account and stuff, because there was some weird thing going on with it, which I only figured out last night. So anyway, I'm back now, and back onto the video. So, the Blues hosted Tottenham, a while ago now actually, and there was some hope from Chelsea fans as Palmer, Madueke and Jackson were all back fit for this game. And it was also, Tottenham, who are a team that is struggling massively at the moment. So it should have been an easy 3 points. And it looked that way from kickoff when Nicholas Jackson almost scored 52 seconds in. The ball is recovered by Vicario, which comes to Mickey van der Ven, who was tracking back, and it hits the ball on his own post. And so it could have been an own goal not even a minute in, which is a bit worrying. But it was fine for us, not really great for Tottenham. Maresca did say, however, that Chelsea are a different team with Jackson, and you can already see how. Though it was very unlucky that Nicholas Jackson didn't score there. But anyway, as the game went on, it became increasingly clear that Chelsea were the dominant team in this game. As not long after, Gusto hits the side netting, and so we could see a Chelsea goal was coming, just when. And it almost came, when Palmer squared the ball across to Enzo Fernandez, but the ball is smothered by Vicario before it went across the goal line. And not long after, Sancho does make an attempt, to score, he shoots, but he misses after an amazing save from Vicario, who really did seem to be having one of the better games that night. Then it got to half-time. The score was 0-0, somehow. And the first half did end a bit chaotically, as players from both teams were involved in a bit of a scuffle. Levi Colwill fouled Mickey van der Ven to prevent Tottenham from counter-attacking. And honestly, given Robert Sanchez's track record, I probably would have done that as well. Anyway, Christian Romero just thinks it's a good idea to shove Colwill to the floor as retribution. And so Colwill's boy Trevor Chalobah stood up for his boy by squaring up to Romero. Tempers flared, Jed Spence was loving life, and Romero and Chalobah both got yellows from the incident. Honestly, I'm not surprised that things boiled over. They have many times before. Literally last year at the Tottenham Stadiums, for instance, when Tottenham were reduced to 9. Then, of course, there's the Battle of the Bridge in 2016, where a 2-2 draw and 12 yellow cards saw Leicester win the title. But honestly, I really do think something needs to happen about Christian Romero. I don't know if he's like this all the time, but he's always so violent when he plays us. Like last year when he broke Enzo Fernandez's shin in his own penalty area, which got him sent off. And then the year before when he pulled on Marc Cucurella's hair and somehow didn't get sent off. But it's Anthony Taylor, what do you expect? Luckily for Tottenham, as Chelsea had some really good chances, but they were just unlucky not to score. The last 3 instances, which I did say previously, meant that it could have been 3-0, was it not mainly for Vicario. Luckily, our opener did finally come in the second half when a Cole Palmer cross finds Enzo Fernandez, who does head it home. This actually makes me really happy. Enzo has actually been playing like prime Frank Lampard at the minute. He wasn't great last season, though he did show some promise at moments. But this season he has really stepped up. He's taken the armband and the responsibility with it and is proving to be a reliable leader and goal scorer. I need an Enzo shirt, man. Not long after, a free kick is awarded to Chelsea. Enzo's delivery finds Bergvall, who heads the ball away, only for Caicedo to score one of the cleanest volleys of his career. Honestly, this man only seems to score amazing goals. There was the goal from his own half against Bournemouth last season. And then there was that other goal against Man United earlier in the season. He only seems to score, banging goals. But fair play to him, because that means when he scores, it's memorable. Unfortunately, the referee disallowed this goal because Levi Colwill was offside. May I also say, it took the referee and VAR 5 whole minutes to decide what to do. Like, honestly, what are they doing in that time? Alright, lads, we have a decision to make. Was it offside or not? He's on, that. I tell you, he's on. Sorry, what? I'm telling you, mate, he's on. Are you looking at the same thing as me? Because the assistant's telling me he's off. And unless he's blind, one of you are wrong. Right, James, what have I told you about playing FIFA when you're supposed to be on VAR? Not long after, Tottenham actually scored a goal, courtesy of Pape Sarr.
Oh dear, we are in trouble.
It was probably savable by Robert Sanchez. Of course, he failed at doing anything that would actually require him to be a good goalkeeper. Thankfully for Chelsea, the goal was ruled out because of Sarr's foul on Caicedo in the build-up. But once again, it took an age for VAR to rule out the goal. 6 minutes again, to be exact. James, you're doing it again! What I do think is quite funny is Ange Postecoglou was booed by Tottenham supporters when Pape Sarr came on. So when Sarr scored, he cupped his ears to the Tottenham fans, only for the goal to be disallowed. Really, it was a sorry affair for Tottenham. They did make some more attempts, only for them to be saved by Robert Sanchez, who had actually decided to be a decent keeper for the rest of that game. And one of those saves was an amazing stretch to deny Heung-min Son in the last minute. So yeah, overall, it was a sorry affair for Tottenham. And I won't be surprised if Ange is gone at the end of the season. Something is clearly not working there, and it seems to not be fixed. And since Daniel Levy thinks he's a BTEC Roman Abramovich, he'll be more than happy to get rid of any manager that's not doing the job. Because Roman Abramovich was famous for getting rid of managers really, really quickly. As for us, we were solid. We were unlucky not to get a few more goals, but what can you do? For our main players like Palmer, Madueke and Jackson, it was their first game back from injury. So as they play a bit more, they should iron out the errors and they will be good to go to definitely challenge for that title. Definitely. Then that weekend, we took the short trip to the GTEC Stadium to face Brentford, where fuck all happened. And I'm not even joking. It ended all square in London as Chelsea played out a 0-0 draw with Brentford. Honestly, it was probably the most boring game I ever watched. And I watched the Manchester derby that same day. Winning against Brentford would have had us extend our lead over 5th place, which is now Newcastle, who are now tied on points with us. Additionally, we would have got within 2 points of 3rd place Nottingham Forest, and if we had overtaken them, we would have secured Champions League football next year. So why did Maresca rotate half our squad? I guess you could say it is to do with keeping players fit and ready for the Legia Warsaw game that just happened. But some of the rotation changes he made were just a bit strange. Nkunku up top, he does shit all, so he doesn't deserve to start. Honestly, he's the main issue I have with this team. He literally did nothing the entire first half. So it made sense as to why Maresca took off Nkunku and replaced him with
Nicolas Jackson.
We did make a few more chances, but still nothing much really happened. While both Jackson and Palmer came on, nothing much happened for them to change the course of the game. This does leave me a bit frustrated because 0-0 draws are really boring to watch. And the only hope I have is that Maresca is still trying to ease Jackson, Palmer and Madueke back to full fitness in time for the Legia Warsaw games. And I think it helped, though I won't say anything on it yet. That's for the next instalment on this series. And that won't come out for a while because I'll actually be on holiday for the next week, so stay tuned for the next release, even though it won't be for a while. And to the 2 people still watching, thank you so very much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you, and goodbye. Peace.
What do we think of Tottenham?